In this video, we're going to take a look at creating rubrics as a grading tool for various types of assessments. A rubric is an assessment tool that lists evaluation criteria for an assignment or an assessment, and it provides a means to convey to the students your expectations for the quality of the completed assignment. Plus, it helps your students to organize their efforts to meet the requirements of your assignment, and it's a great way for you to explain the grade that you have given to students. Plus, it offers a way to ensure consistent and impartial means of grading. There are all kinds of different types of rubrics, and the internet is a great place to search for various examples. Here are just a couple. They range from simple to complex, and you can use them and create them for just about any type of assignment that you want. This one here is an example of one you might use for a research paper, and here's an example that you might use for a shop project or any type of a project that you're working on. You can create as many rubrics as you want in a Blackboard course, but once you use it for grading once, it cannot be edited. From that point on, you're better off just to copy the rubric and once you create a copy of it, then you can edit the copy and use it for a new assignment. Or you can create just one rubric and use it for multiple different assignments in your course. Rubrics are associated to various types of assignments. You can use them for all of your course assignments. A number of test questions like essay, short answer, and file response. You can use them for blogs and wikis and journals, and to grade discussion board threads and forums. So to create a rubric, you go to the control panel, click on Course Tools, and point on Rubrics, and the rubric screen will come up. You can see here that I've already created one called Research Paper Rubric, and we'll take a look at that in a little bit. But to create a new rubric from scratch, you point to Create Rubric. And when this screen comes up, it asks you to give your rubric a name. We'll just call that assignment rubric. You can give it a description, which helps you to organize your rubrics later on. Especially if you're creating multiple rubrics, you can put a description for what you created this particular one for. The students won't see the description. It's basically an instructor piece of information at all. And then below that, you see the details of the rubric. Rubrics are a grid. They come in columns and rows. And basically, the columns are your levels of achievement. By default, they give you these three, which are called novice, competent, and proficient. You can change the names of those just by clicking the chevron and saying edit. You can call that whatever you want, failed if you want to. You can add more columns if you want to have more levels of achievement just by simply clicking on Add Column, and you would get a new column which you then could edit and call whatever you wanted. Or you can delete any of these columns that you want just by saying delete this column. Okay. You can also choose whether this rubric is going to be a no points rubric, a points rubric. If you click on that, the percentages go away and you can put in points here. For example, 1, 2, and 3, just an example only. Or you could say a points range from 0 to 5, from 6 to 10, and from 11 to 15, for example, if you wanted to. Or you could have it as a percentage rubric. Okay, and when you have percentage as the option selected, you notice that the different criteria have weights on them, so that you can give the weights various percentages. If you wanted your formatting to be only 10% and your organization to be 50% and your grammar to be 40%, you could do that. Or you can balance your weights equally by clicking on the balance weight button down here at the bottom. Again, these are your criteria. You can add more rows if you want just by clicking on the Add Row button. You can edit the names of any of the rows just by clicking on Edit and calling it whatever you want, or you can delete any of the rows that you choose. Once you have your grid set up with the number of levels of achievement that you want and the number of different grading criteria that you want, then you put a little bit of a description in each of the text boxes. For example, formatting at the novice level, this would explain to the student what they would be doing to warrant that score on their assignment, all the way up to competent and proficient. So you put in the various types of identifiers for each level of achievement and for each of the various criteria that you've put into your rubric. And when you're done with that, you click Submit. Since I haven't done anything here, I'm just going to say Cancel, and I want to show you the one that I've already created. So I'm just going to edit that one and open it up to show you. This is one I created, for example, called Research Paper Rubric. This rubric will be used for grading the course research paper. It will be attached to the assignment and will be visible to the students at all times throughout the assignment, as well as when the final scores are submitted to the Grade Center. Okay. And here I have included 5 different levels of achievement, from unacceptable, needs improvement, good, very good, and excellent, and 5 different grading criteria: research, the argument, intro and conclusion to the paper, analysis, which is the body of the paper, clarity, and the format. And for each one of those, I've put a description on what that means for each one of those. I've chosen to make this a points rubric, and here I've filled in the points. The unacceptable column is 1 all the way down. So if a student got 1 on every one of these grading criteria, they'd get 5 out of a possible 25 points for the paper, all the way up to 5 for this row over here, the excellent row. If they scored 5 on each one of those, they would get a maximum of 25 points. So the assignment in this case is going to be a 25-point assignment. Okay, so that's basically how you create a rubric. And in the next video, we're going to take a look at how you associate a rubric to an assignment. Thank you.